What I will try to do is to give you three different vantage points of Israel's society and economy. The first vantage point is where we are currently. How do we compare with other countries? We actually compare really well, but I'll explain in a moment what's underlying that as well. The second vantage point, which I'm going to refer to here as the tip of the iceberg, 2 years ago we had some massive social protests. Keep in mind, in a country of 8 million people, when 400,000 go out in the streets to protest, that's 5% of the population. That's not negligible. And what made this unique was that these protests had nothing to do with our neighbors. You know, here when James Carville said it's the economy stupid, well, in Israel it's always been national security. Nothing else matters or did matter. And here all of a sudden we had biggest demonstration that I can remember, had nothing to do with national security. Not only that, really didn't have much to do with poverty, inequality, or things of that nature. This was primarily young, middle class, not particularly religious Jews, definitely not ultra-Orthodox Jews, protesting prices, housing prices, education, and so on. Basically the tip of the iceberg. Something happened. Something began to happen in Israel. And the second wave of that occurred this year when we had elections in Israel. And here the politicians who didn't get it got burned. Those who continued to focus on the traditional issues got burned. Those who started focusing on the issues of the protests really took off and made gains. And in fact, the biggest winner is a party that none of them was even in the Knesset before, and that now they have 19 Knesset members and the finance minister. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. But really, the problem is what's underneath all that. Okay, and that's the iceberg that we're heading straight toward. We have some big issues here that if we continue, they actually become existential in my opinion. One of them is the living standards in Israel. They're rising, and in fact in recent years they're rising faster than American living standards in other countries. However, if you look at the long run, we're actually falling farther and farther behind over an extended period of time. And that's a problem. The second one, and it's related, is that this is a country that was not known for high levels of poverty and income inequality 40, 50 years ago. Of course, almost everybody was poor, so I guess inequality wouldn't be a problem much in that case anyways. But as we evolved, we became one of the least egalitarian countries of the Western world. And these two issues are actually related to one another. So that's the iceberg in a nutshell.